Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Deckin Around the Plug. Today, we are really excited to have Cam Toner on to talk about the latest OPC release, the Squeezers V3. But before we jump into it, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel.
Also, ring that bell because you need to know when they post.
Absolutely.
Watch those vids.
There we go. Thank you, Cam. How you doing, man? It's so good to have you back on the show.
Dude, I'm doing freaking awesome. It has been absolutely, it's been a blast just hanging out with you guys up until now. Like, I'm just excited to be here.
We love having you on the show, man. Honestly, we were obviously pre-show talking about how it's been episode 24 was when you were on. We're now on episode 30, so it's been a bit, and it's crazy to think that it's been that long. That we've been just
you're like the OG of Deckin Around.
Dude, yeah? I'm always here, man. Always here. OG supporter.
And we love you for it. And that's why we're so excited, not only to talk to you today in general, but about this new deck you got coming out, man.
Yeah, I've been pumped for these for a minute. Like the colorway on them, the metallic ink, like it's just like
it looks so good.
I'm very excited about it. People especially ever since like we've done people have done like a lot of reviews of the Squeezers V2, and like everybody seems like that's the deck people ask us for. And we're like, we don't have any left. So, we were like, why not, print another Squeezers? So
yeah. I think people, they're always, huge supporters of obviously all of your decks, but I think the peelers and squeezers are the two decks that people go crazy over,
Yeah.
So, and I think we did the peelers V3 last time. So, the golden banana deck, and now we're kind of doing I feel like it's almost like a tribute to the old squeezers of it's the light's weird, but we're doing more so like the grapefruit.
There you go.
It looks so good.
With the
I love that metallic ink.
Right?
That metallic color is so nice. What number is that? Is that like 3025 or something?
I have no idea.
Yeah. So good.
It looks so good though. And honestly, I think the colorway just matches so perfectly. Like that like rich, deep pinkish red, like you'd see in a grapefruit. It's so perfect.
Yeah. I think it's nice that we're kind of I wanted to do peelers V3 because I'm at the time I'm like OPC, we need a new chapter. We need to evolve. I want to pay almost pay respects to the thing that we started with, because we had printed so many decks up till that point. And I think this is kind of doing the same for the Squeezers line. We're we want to come out with a dope deck that has some metallic ink on it, that has a dope colorway, but instead of printing only 1,500, we're let's print 5,000. Because, Squeezers sold out really fast, Peelers sold out really fast. And now we're just able to see the demand and have it, reflect in the amount of cards that we print. So,
yeah. I mean, a lot of people, Tyler and I, and actually you were talking about this, a lot of people don't understand that you can't just print 15,000 decks. You have to see what the demand is. Yep. And, printing 5,000, you see how long that takes to sell. You don't want to be stuck with 2,000 decks sitting in a warehouse.
Yep.
So you kind of want to gauge what that magic number is, and you keep upping the game, kind of like what Chris Brown did over at Orbits is you kind of take those baby steps and you see what you can sell, and then eventually you get more and more and more and more where it'll be a little easier to get, because you got to sell out really quick, which is so awesome.
Yeah, I never expected it. I mean, even with the carvers, it was so funny. After an hour and a half of them being up, they were gone, and people, I was live streaming, and people were like, "Hey, I can't get them anymore." And I thought that Kevin's website broke. I FaceTimed him while on live, and I said, "Hey, you're not doing your job. The website's broke." And he goes, "No, you're just gone."
That's crazy.
Bro, let's get something straight. Nothing that Kevin does breaks, okay?
I know. I'm like, I should have never doubted you.
Yeah. Kevin is always 27 steps ahead of everybody.
I know. Yeah. So, which I'm super grateful for. And I was like, dude, that's crazy. And then 4 minutes with peelers, I was like, And that was one of the hardest things, is because the whole reason behind our brand, why we sell the decks for the amount that we sell them for, we try to print enough to where yes, we do sell out in a decent amount of time, but we want everybody who wants one to get one. We're trying to be a hype brand that gets resold, for twice the price instantly on eBay. We want people to get the decks, to open them, to use them. I want this to be your daily carry. That's what I want. So, Peelers V3 was dope, but it was also so hard because there were so many people that wanted them that didn't get them. And I was like, I don't want that. You know what I mean? Like, it's dope, but I also don't want that, you know?
And I think that's what I love.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say that's what I love about the brand, and we talked about this a little bit earlier as well. Like, you're so involved in actually adding value to the community and making sure that the community grows with the brand. It's not just you're growing because of the community. You want to make sure that you're continuing to give the people who are supporting you what they're asking for. No one likes to feel like they got left out of a drop, and obviously, as brands get more popular, it becomes inevitable. You can't be out there printing 100,000 decks and be like, oh yeah, let's sit on 90,000 decks because we didn't know how many we need. But like at some point or another, like things sell out, but giving that opportunity to sell out in a reasonable time allows people to, you can't be mad if they sold out in a week and you didn't get your deck because you had 7 days to do it, And I think that says a lot about the brand though, and the motivation behind it, that you really do try and give everyone who wants one a deck.
Yeah. I think I think what it comes down to, like for some people, I mean, I think it's kind of like, when do I get paid? I get paid on a Friday and this drops on a Thursday. I can't get it yet, know, and in their heads, they're like, I just want it to go a day, so I could do it. And when something sells so fast, it just bums them out. So, and I think, again, it's not your intention. You're not sure how something's going to go. So you have to test the waters. And,
And like, I always feel like it's weird too. Cause like, I never expect it to sell out. Like in my head, I'm always like, I'm always so nervous on launch day. Cause I'm like, what if they don't sell? You know what I mean? Like I'm stuck in that frame of mind where I'm like, what if we don't sell? Like that's like a legit thing that could happen. But like, I mean, I think that the community we've built and like the people that love the brand, they show up and like they're killing it. Like they're on some different juice right now. And like and I'm excited. Like the 5K run, like I'm excited to see like y'all show up. And like if y'all show up and they go they go fast, then like we're obviously gonna see that and be like, cool, the next print run that we submit, let's try 7K. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, let's, because you're right. We want that time period of like a couple days for people to be able to like get them. So I never want to be, like we've been like, oh, Peeler sold out in 4 minutes. Like that's crazy. It's more so, it's not about that number for me. Like, I don't want to like fixate on like how fast we sell out. I'm just cool if they sell out in general, like in a amount of time. Cause like, that's dope. That means win, and they feel like they want them that bad. So
I mean, I think it's great. I think it is obviously we don't know what your vision is we all have these kind of goals that we want. Do you have this goal of I want to print on the web press for a run, or like that? I think in the card community, when you print on the web press, you're doing something right. Everybody can print on the regular presses and they can get crushed. That's not such a huge feat. But in this world, when something's printed on the web press, it's like, okay, 15,000 decks and it's printed on the machine. What I mean? So it'd be cool to fill in a squeezers or peelers or any OPC deck on the web.
Yeah, like it's like, I mean, and that's where we've always wanted to go. Like we've always wanted to get bigger and continue continue increasing print runs. Because like the mindset I like to have is that the only reason I'm able to do OPC, the only reason OPC exists is because of the community. It's like why make your decks not accessible? Because like they're the reason you're there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you ever have the intention to have a staple deck or a staple run, maybe like specific 2-3 decks that are always in shop where people just coming into the game can get these decks at any time, kind of like your original Nox. Those are something that always are in stock. They're cheap, but just something like that where when people want an OPC deck, they can grab one because it's available on the site at all times.
Yeah, like that's definitely one of that's a thing that I would love at some point. Like at the point where like we're able to just like have that amount of money set aside to like do that. Cause of course there's, there's cost in like it being in the warehouse, and there's constant cost of like storing it. And then, having like, eventually you want to move product, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
From just a business standpoint. So, I think that like, that's eventually the goal. Like eventually if this ever gets to the point where it fully pays my bills and this is like my full-time job, then like, heck yeah. Like that would be super dope. Like there's so many things I want to do with the brand that like it's absolutely like time is the only thing. Like it's crazy to think how much time it takes to get somewhere, but like it's about the journey of getting there.
Yeah.
So it's just I never thought I'd be doing this. Is pretty much what that sums up to be. Like I'm trying to put it into words and it's hard.
Understandable. Yeah. And I think it's happened all so quickly too for you, really, though. Like this year, your last 2 decks have sold out so quickly. And like you said, it wasn't an expected thing or a planned thing. It just kind of happened. Like, but that's when things are really popping off, and that's exciting.
Yeah. No, like it's something about like what's been happening this year that's just been like people have really been showing up, which makes me very happy. And it makes me want to work harder to like, increase the print runs and like, eventually the goal again is to make this to where it pays my bills and I can fully focus on the brand and the community. And then I think that we're going to get even more return on investment, like
for sure.
I can put into OPC Hangouts and like building that community and building the community of people that just of cardistry in general. Like I almost want OPC to be a cardistry ambassador in terms of what a brand should do.
Yeah,
right. I'm always trying to get new people into cardistry and like make new cardists and share the art form that we all love with somebody, whether they have our cards or not.
Yeah,
right.
Like I think that's the main goal above selling decks.
Right. Yeah.
Go ahead, Steve.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. I'm going to lead into something else. So you go ahead, buddy.
And so
that's the only thing. Tyler and I were talking about this. The only thing that stinks about us being in different spots and everything is we kind of never know who's going to go next. It's always like when you're in person and you can interact, you can kick someone under the table being like, I'm next, but here we don't know who's going to go next. So sometimes we kind of stumble on each other, but
I was just going to say that I think it's impressive though, too, and like you said there, you'd love OPC to be your full-time thing. The fact of the matter is the amount of energy and the amount of output and value you do provide with this not being your full-time thing has always impressed me. And I think, anyone who knows the brand, and for those people who don't know the brand, like this is your, for lack of a better term, side hustle. And you hustle for real at it. Like you put so much effort into this that it astounds me that it's not your full-time thing. Like, I don't know how you have enough time in the day, but I know personally, and personally though, like I'm so thankful for it because I do see the amount of hard work you put in and I see the amount of output that comes out of it and how much it does benefit the community. I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
That makes me feel so thank you.
For sure.
Dude, anytime, Cam.
So now I lost my segue, but I'm going to do it anyway. I don't even care. So we were talking about these decks and all this stuff. So why don't you show us this new deck? Show us what you're here for. Give us like kind of, the ins and outs of this bad boy.
So we wanted to go with this super vibranty, like summery feel to like a kind of like the perfect summer deck. Like, wanted to give that like nice fun. It's like an orangey pink pastel color.
I like it.
Grapefruit with that dark pink, and then like the orangish outside works perfect. People have already noticed, especially our sponsors, which makes me really happy. If you compare this to like a Squeezers V1, the back design is actually slightly bigger because grapefruits in real life are bigger than oranges and lemons.
Nice.
That's awesome.
I think it fills the back a lot better too, which I like.
Yeah.
And I think it makes it more like, it makes it pop more than it does smaller. And of course we brought up that there is metallic ink. So of course, third version, we kind of wanted to go all out. That metallic blue is kind of something that we thought would just make a really fun colorway and be like a fun contrasting color. And that's shown throughout the deck. So even the pips, which you guys saw in the teaser trailer and in the regular trailer, has that.
So cool.
It is so beautiful. Yeah.
And it's
metallic ink. I love metallic ink.
Like it's the blue works so well.
Yeah.
And it took so long to figure out what the heck we were going to do with the colorways.
Yeah.
So
You crushed it with it for sure, man. Those colors complement each other so well.
why? Thank you. The ace is also, regular squeezers. The vase, the upside down ace.
Nice.
Yeah.
I always loved.
So cool.
I didn't know
Yeah.
how people would feel about it being upside down. So when we first did Squeezers V1, I was like, what if we just did it upside down and it was a vase? And
That's cool.
I was like, I've never seen Ace of Spades be upside down before. So
Yeah.
ship it. Let's do it,
Yeah.
Dude, I love it.
Sure. I think it looks great.
So, and then we've got, all the courts doing, grapefruity things.
Nice.
So very similar to our other Squeezer series. So,
Yeah. Looks good.
which will be fun. It's kind of like an upped version of Squeezers V1 and V2. So
Nice.
People that weren't able to grab the V2s or V1s that might have just heard about it can snag them and have something real cool.
No,
Nice.
that's so cool. And obviously, we all want to know what the half brick box looks like.
I'm about to go there. So the half brick is very similar. I hate how there we go, camera.
Nice.
So the half brick again is very similar to the V2s. It's actually a little bit better. The decks fit in it a little more snugly.
Nice.
We've got the OPC logo with a maze on the side.
That
was
is really cool.
I dig that. Yeah.
The bottom's a little bit different, so it's easier for packaging and for display. But yeah, this is kind of what we're working with. It's just like
it's a fold-in box.
Yeah, so it's
Oh.
The bottom is
Nice.
So the last one was just like two flaps that glued together.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was hard to have it sit flat when it displayed.
Yeah.
So we've come up with this new fold-in box.
That's so dope.
Nice.
And Cam, the big question, the controversial question.
Right.
What's the deal with the scent in the oil? And what's the deal with that?
So this one should be, I think, just like the Squeezers V2. So I misinformed somebody yesterday because I was looking at our cost sheet, and I guess I again, if you think about how many decks we have going at once and how long it takes to like beginning to end a deck. If you want to learn a little bit about that, we have a YouTube channel to plug something else. I made a video talking about like how like the whole scope of decks go for at least us. So if you're interested, check that out.
We'll link that in the
YouTube
description.
Channel? We'll link it. Yeah.
But yeah, so I can never remember what like little tiny things like that. Like I'm like, oh, did I send Kevin the essential oil thing for that? And of course, like with blackberries, the essential oil was a lot. So
yeah, man, I'm still hurting from it.
Right? Like I still smell. I still
every once in a while I'm like,
but yeah. So like the Squeezers V2 half bricks was also essential oil, and that was fine. Like people loved that. Like some people
lemon. Yeah, that smelled great. It did smell good.
So, and I think grapefruit is just a very fresh smell. It's not like you're not like that's a grapefruit. It's more so like, oh, that's citrus. You know what I mean? So, I don't think it'll be too overpowering, and it'll just be like one little spray in the bottom of the half brick, and then
it's a good way to that super thin foam. It's not foam paper or anything, but it's super thin foam. Sometimes people pack decks with it or whatever.
Yeah.
You can put literally a square of that over on the top and then spray over the top. That way it's in that piece of paper rather than on like the cello, the sticker or whatever. You know what I mean? That way the sticker doesn't like come off the adhesive side of it. And the non-adhesive. That way it doesn't kind of interact with the decks as much. And it's just
True. Yeah.
More work though.
It's again, it's so weird because like we're trying to pioneer this whole thing that like again, I don't think anybody else has ever tried to scent like anything in general, but like a deck container is hard. I mean, I've also just been trying to figure out how we can scent cards, but I don't think
I was just gonna tell you, listen, you know what you have to do is you have to scent the stickers and just put a scented sticker on each tuck box, and that totally takes care of
like scratch and sniff, get some nostalgia.
The scratch and sniff tuck box. That way, you don't have to worry about oil. You don't have to worry about spraying. You just
that would be next level.
Yeah.
Royalties. I don't need any royalties. Just send me some decks. I'll be good with that. I'll be like this.
You'll just on the show. We'll be back on the plug, and then
that'll be next level deck sniff right there for Stu.
right.
Oh man, that would be something else. I'd love to see that. But dude, Cam, I am super pumped for this deck. It looks phenomenal, man.
Me too.
No, I am too. It looks good in motion. It looks really nice in terms of like, I just think it fits the vibe. It fits kind of what we're, going for. I mean, if you saw the teaser trailer, like me, myself, as just a person, the past, couple months with everything going on in the world, I'm like, man, like I've lost this, like I had at one point lost this motivation, this passion that I had for just cards and just anything in general because of everything on, I've been in my apartment forever. It feels like, I don't really go out. Like all my interactions are, just like this, they're in person.
Right.
And like, I think that this deck just exudes just good vibes. And that's, I think, what really makes me like feel like that's how this deck makes me feel. It's just very,
no, that's so cool. And it's crushed, right?
Yep. So this is actually the first time we've used Bee Crushed. We used Bicycle Crushed on the Peelers V3 because that's like, I like a lot of Bicycle Crushed decks. And I wanted to kind of make the Bee Crushed to see like how I liked it and how other people liked it. And then the next couple I think will also be Bee Crushed just because that's usually what's mostly preferred. I love these, by the way.
Yeah. That premium crushed feels so good. So good.
Yeah. Well, and especially just doing cardistry. Like I've been really kind of diving in and trying to like, work on my own cardistry. So I've been trying to, mess with different types of decks and be like, what really works and like what makes cardistry easier and like more fun to do. And I've noticed that crush stock just like, it just helps so much. Now I do love our past decks. I love to get just a thick deck sometimes as poopy and like just try different stuff with it to create. But like the thin stock is really nice for like practicing and getting things down and like really putting time and wear into. So
absolutely.
Yeah, you think you're gonna crush all the decks going forward, or?
Oh yeah. I think most of the decks going forward will be crushed. It'll either be bicycle or
B.
B.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm definitely. So and actually, that's a good random question there, just because we were talking about that right there. Have you ever considered Cardamundi as a stock? Or as a no? All right.
I've not, and so there's really it's because a lot of people like I love USPCC stock and finish. Like I love how they feel.
Yeah.
The Cardamundi decks that I've gotten, they're not bad. The problem I have and that I think would not look great with our cards is that their finish has like this almost like this like thread count feel.
Yeah, it does. You can see the ink differently.
Yeah,
and it makes the design look different. I think back when I got Riffle Shuffle came out with the Lollipop deck that was printed with Cardamundi, and he sent me some of those, and like you could just see the lines of like the finish.
Yeah,
I don't think if you think about our backs, I don't think that would look very good.
Yeah, it would take that simplicity and add kind of like a distracting texturing to it. Yeah.
Well, unless you use that with your back, that might be cool.
Right. Well, and like again, if we like, if we get into more complicated backs in the future, that might be, or USPCC, like I don't know, like something happens,
Shh, don't say that. Bite your tongue.
Blasphemy. But and I think right now it's pretty like USPCC pretty much like runs the cardistry game, and like that. I mean, even MPC has been trying to like come up with something, and like I just think the preferred for still a good amount of time will be. That will be.
Yeah, I mean their stuff is great, and
absolutely,
I mean the only thing that they need to work on is their registration, but we'll see how that works out.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, Cam, we are super excited to see these Squeezers V3 come out, and we really appreciate you coming on to talk about the deck and show it off a little bit, man.
Yeah,
and
thank you for having me on. Like this has been
absolutely.
So.
Dude, we always love seeing the projects you do, and honestly, we just love chatting with you all the time. So
right. Yeah. No, I super enjoy it. If anybody watching wants to join our community, I would love to have you guys. So actually Tyler is a part of our OPC hangout groups, and
I am.
Yeah,
he said I think he really enjoys it.
I do. It's always a blast.
He
Yeah.
does. I'm always jealous too. I thought it was like closed off, so I'm glad that it's still open.
Yeah.
And yeah. Now I know. Tyler was always talking about it. I'm always like, like he's the cool one in this club, and I didn't know it still was open. So now I'm gonna have to go sign up.
Right. So if you sign up, just go to our website, organicplayingcards.com. There's a link. You'll fill out like this Google Forms, and pretty much now you won't hear back right away. I do add people like in chunks, just to not overwhelm myself and our groups. Just constantly having new members. But yeah, it's pretty much just like a book club, but you guys meet to talk about cards and cardistry, and you guys, work on different things and kind of learn and grow as a group. So
That's cool.
yeah, which has been one of my favorite things this year, honestly. That and the passport program has been like really my two favorite parts, because I know people are looking forward to that exotic deck as well.
Absolutely, man.
I am.
So
I definitely am.
that's the last thing I wanted to talk about. If you are watching this and you're like, man, I missed out on carvers, I missed out on peelers, I'm never going to fill my passport, you're wrong. You will fill the passport. I have faith, because we're doing this over the next 8 to 9 decks. So you will get a little passport and be able to fill it and send it to us for one exotic deck, which will be a super rare exclusive deck that you'll hopefully only be able to get with this. So we're very excited about that. But yeah, if that's the past 2, don't worry. You'll still be able to fill it and still be able to get a deck. So you got it. I promise.
Awesome. Now one last thing before we let you go is you obviously dropped the trailer, and we just want to share what is the date and time that everybody can grab these bad boys.
Yes, so we will be selling them on Wednesday, September 23rd, at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Awesome.
So that is when those will go live. They will be live on riffleshuffle.com. If y'all want, you can put the link below.
We will do that for sure.
That's when our early bird special starts, and those decks are discounted. So I think it's like $8 a deck, 45 for a half brick, and like I don't remember the price for a brick, but
crazy. It's so good.
That's
so good.
Such a good deal.
Everybody pick them up.
Yes.
Yeah. We are super excited to see him.
Appreciate you forever.
Dude, thank you so much, Cam. We love you. You're amazing.
I love you guys. Thank you guys for having me on. It's always fun doing this.
Always.
It's a blast.
It really is.
Hopefully we see more of you in the in the future.
Right. Yes. I will always be on the plug when you have me. So
absolutely, man. Always. You are welcome anytime you want. So
exactly.
Thank you so much, Cam. Thank you everyone for checking out this episode of Deckin' Around the Plug. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're always trying to drop.
Bell, do it.
There you go. Please ring the bell. You definitely should.
You won't. They did it.
Everybody listen to Cam. Cam knows. Cam knows.
Dude, I know. I did it.
We're always trying to drop that you heard it here first, basically news. So make sure to check it out. You get that by ringing the bell. So thanks.
Peace.